Terry versus Ohio. And I'm gonna go into some pretty specific understanding of Terry versus Ohio on this very short video. So I wanna show you a couple of things, and I think it's important that you're able to stay focused on what has gone wrong. Because there are things that have gone wrong in our country. And if we take a look at the graphic, you see the big red line right here? You see the big red line? The red line goes down right there. You can see it. There it is right there. That's the prison line. And if you take a look at the prison line, do you see what happens right here around 1968, right around when Terry versus Ohio is created by the unelected Supreme Court? Do you see it? So let me show you exactly what happens here. So let's go down the line, and I've got some stuff in the way here, but I got to get this out because I got a premiere coming out at 1:15, and I want to show you guys that. But in the beginning, the entire point of our country was because we wanted to get away from the British rule and the taxation and the tyranny and the way the British government was massively oppressing the United States people. So when you go to the beginning of this and you go to the Articles of the Constitution and the first 10 of the Bill of Rights, what you're gonna see is that it's specifically set up so that the cops can't just grab us, arrest us, throw us in jail. The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizure. And no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause. That's your Fourth Amendment. That's the Fourth Amendment right there. And so because we have this locked in protection of the Fourth Amendment, take a look at the prison line. If you take a look at the prison line, this is my lectern I'll be using to teach you here. But here's the prison line right down here. Do you see that? Take a look at that. There's only a few thousand people in prison back in the day. There's only a few. Here, let me turn off my Bluetooth. Hold on 1 second. When we first start off, there's only a few thousand people in prison total. There's not hundreds of thousands or millions of people in prison. Not at all whatsoever. No. That's not the way our country was set up. Remember, the Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be free of unreasonable searches and seizures. That's what the Fourth Amendment says. That's the beginning of the Fourth Amendment right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. To be free of unreasonable searches and seizures, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause. That's your Fourth Amendment right there. That's what it says, right? No warrant shall issue. You cannot be arrested unless there's probable cause. Now, let me tell you something. Back in 1789, the first 10 of the Bill of Rights is ratified in 1791. So we finally have our Bill of Rights established, and the idea is that it has to be supported by oath or affirmation. Fourth Amendment's the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. That means the victim of your so-called crime has gone down to the police bureau, made a complaint against you that you have criminalized them, you have beat their wife, shot their dog, ate their porridge, and so they go down and take a look. Because there's this probable cause standard, the prison industry is nothing. It's a great big nothing. There's no prison industry. There's no such thing as the two words prison and industry. That's not created until 1971 when the bullshit war on drugs is created by Richard Nixon. But let's go down the line here. So we have this basic idea that we're to be free of unreasonable searches and seizures, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. So let's take a look at the prison line. See the prison line right here? Sorry, this is a... see the prison line? See the prison line? You see that prison line? Look at that. Look at the prison line. There's nothing to it. There's nothing to the prison line. And then right here, what happens right here? Why does prison jump so much right here in 1920? 1920 to 1933. This is prohibition. The 18th Amendment prohibits alcohol. And then by the time it's abolished in 1933, now we've created a prison industrial complex where we have a prison industry where people are getting paid to guard your skin while you're learning no new skills. You're just rotting away inside of a dungeon. It doesn't make anybody any better. And so what do you have? You have right there, that's the beginning of the prison industrial complex created by Prohibition, when we started to lock up tens of thousands of people. So if you don't know the numbers, right there's about 40,000 people in prison in 1920, and by 1933, we have 200,000 people in prison. Why is that? How come that happens? Well, let's be very specific. The reason why that prison industry goes absolutely bananas is because of the 1925 case of Carroll versus United States. In 1925, the Supreme Court, the unelected Supreme Court, this guy right here, William Howard Taft, who was the Chief Justice in 1925, he's the Supreme Court Justice, Chief Justice from 1921 until 1930. William Howard Taft leads the charge on Carroll versus United States, 1925, that creates the automobile exclusionary rule. The automobile exclusionary rule, specifically what that does is it goes around your Fourth Amendment. But what's the Fourth Amendment again? The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects, your car, against unreasonable searches and seizures. And no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause. Well, the 1925 case of Carroll versus United States completely and utterly ended that. The cops would pull over your car randomly and just search your car. It completely wiped out the Fourth Amendment. And when does it happen? Let's be specific. It happens during Prohibition. They create the automobile exclusionary rule so that they can search your car randomly because they're going to snuff out this alcohol problem we have. How'd that go? Do we still have a huge alcohol problem in this country? Oh my God. Alcohol is the number one drug of choice in America is alcohol. So let's keep going down the line. So when Carroll versus United States is created and they create a caveat, a way to go around your Fourth Amendment right, what happens with the prison industry? Well, remember, Prohibition ends in 1933 where you can have alcohol. You're allowed to have alcohol in 1933, right here. So it's over right here, right? So we're not gonna have the automobile exclusionary rule anymore? Oh no. Once that die is cast, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. No way. Now they can warrantlessly search your car anytime they want. So are they gonna do it? Absolutely. I'm not sure which cases are on here, so if they're on here, I'll show them on the wall. If not, I know them, so I'm just gonna teach them to you. So the automobile exclusionary rule is created in 1925. And so it's gonna get a lot worse. Because now from 1925 all the way up until 1950, Rabinowitz versus United States, 1950. And obviously I have these coming out in a bigger form here on the next version, but Rabinowitz versus United States, 1950, Rabinowitz capitalizes on Carroll and says that we can search anywhere around you, not just search you warrantlessly in your car, we can search anywhere at all whatsoever. And that happens in 1950. Then in 1969 in Chille, in Chille versus California, I believe it is, in 1969, they create the wingspan rule, anywhere they can reach. If you can reach anywhere, then the cop can search there. And this is Chille, I think it's versus California in 1969. But something big happens, and take a look at the prison industry. We got 300,000 people in prison right around 1968, 1969. About 300,000. You see it? You see how Terry lines up right there? About 300,000 people in prison. Look at the jump right here. Why does it do that? Look at the prison industry absolutely jump. Why does the prison industry jump like that in 1968, 1969? Well, you have multiple things happening here. You have multiple things happening all at one time. Terry versus Ohio now completely removes the probable cause standard. You don't have to have probable cause anymore. You only have to have reasonable articulable suspicion. So what is reasonable articulable suspicion? And who determines what that is? The cop on the scene. The cop on the scene will say, yeah, I think that's reasonable articulable suspicion. Now, it's not supposed to be a hunch, but we all know that that's exactly what it is. Not every single, but I would say 90% of the videos that you see where a cop is doing something heinous and untold and disgusting to another human being, It's a Terry stop. It's a Terry stop. So what are the 4 tenets of Terry versus Ohio? What are the 4 specific things that Terry versus Ohio does? Number 1, and most important, it put officer safety over all your rights. So all these rights that were created, all of these rights, men fought and died so that you would have these constitutional rights right here, so that you would have this Bill of Rights. It would be lined out for you so that you could actually walk down the street without the government attacking you. It was created here, the 4th Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in your person, houses, papers, and effects. Well, let me tell you something, folks. That is completely and utterly wiped out. It's ended. It comes to a complete and total halt in the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio. Officer safety first. Officer safety over all of your rights. So why specifically, though, is there the officer safety caveat? Well, because there was this group of people called the Black Panthers. Yeah. The Black Panthers. Remember, black people are freed in 1968. Black people, you think black folks are freed in 1954 with Brown versus Board of Education? No. Black people are not freed in 1954 with Brown versus Board of Education. And people say, Chille, you're always talking about race. It's not about race. It's not about race. Bullshit, it's not about race. Every single case on there, 90% of the cases on there are created for black people. Specifically targeted for black people, whether I like it or not. And if the black people didn't follow along, they were lynched. And if the white people helped the black people, they were lynched. That's a fact, Jack. People say, oh, Chille, you're right, everything's not racist. Our government is institutionally racist, and the Supreme Court cases that have been held to change our Constitution were created specifically for black people. They weren't even supposed to be applied to you. Terry versus Ohio was not supposed to be applied to you. It was supposed to be applied to black people. So people say, Chille, why do you say everything's racist? From the beginning of our country, let's go with 1789 from George Washington's very first term as president, all the way up right there until 1968. Until Terry versus Ohio, the laws that were created, the cases that were held, the Constitution that was changed so we could lock up black people. Whether I like it or not, I'm pretty not melanated, aren't I? I'm pretty not melanated, right? You can see it. There's no melanation in my skin tone. My father was brown, Colombian, but I'm pretty freaking white, aren't I? And I'm not some raging liberal. I got my firearms. I'm all for creating a country. I'm for America first, all the way. So what happens? Okay, let's go back to that prison industry. 1968, Terry versus Ohio is created that does 4 specific things. It puts officer safety over all of our rights, number 1. Number 2, it allows cops to create reasonable, articulable suspicion. Meaning, the next 2 parts of Terry, they can run up to you and grab you and pat you down. And then the 4th one is they can detain you. And how do they detain you? In torture cuffs. And now every different pig shack across the country creates their own little rendition of what detainment means for them. It used to be that the only way you could be put in handcuffs is if you were out of control. And there were policies in every police department back in the 70s and the 80s that you couldn't be put in torture cuffs unless you did something really, we couldn't control him. He had to go in cuffs. Now, they used to carry the handcuffs where? Back here, on the back of the pants. You remember that? The handcuffs used to go on the back of the pants. Where do the handcuffs go now? Right here. The handcuffs go right here. And why do the handcuffs go right here? To scare you. Because torture cuffs are always torture. 10 minutes till a video premiere comes out, 10 minutes. Okay, so now follow me here, because this is really important, and a lot of these cases aren't on the wall because I haven't had time to get them up on the wall yet, but follow me here. So Terry versus Ohio does 4 things. Let's recap them so everybody knows what they are. Number 1, officer safety over all of your rights. Number 2, reasonable articulable suspicion instead of a probable cause standard. Reasonable articulable suspicion is a way lower standard than probable cause. Probable cause is where you have broken the law. Reasonable articulable suspicion is any JBTP with a badge on can say, I'm suspicious of you. And they can run up and do what? Grab you, in the idea that they're patting you down. And then the fourth part is they can detain you in the torture cuffs. So what's gonna happen from there? What's gonna happen from there? There's the prison industry line right there. See that red line going up like that? That's the prison industry line right there. You're seeing it. And look what happens. Look at that prison line. There's no prison line till prohibition. Do you see it? Do you see it? So this is called a Dana dolly. Forgive me that it's in the way. But the prison industry right here is no industry until we prohibit alcohol. In prohibition, that's when the prison industry line becomes something relevant. There's no industry for prison guards. There's no industry for jail guards. It doesn't even exist. It's created during prohibition when we try to prohibit alcohol. That's what the term prohibition comes from. We're prohibiting alcohol. How'd that work out? So we prohibit alcohol, we create the automobile exclusionary rule in the 1925 case of Carroll versus United States, and then what happens next? We legalize alcohol with the 21st Amendment in 1933, but do we get rid of the automobile exclusionary rule? Absolutely not. We just keep it going, baby. We just keep it going. So then it keeps on expanding. You got Chille, you got New York versus Belton, 1981. New York versus Belton is on here somewhere in 1981. And what that says is that if you get pulled over, the cops can just search your car anytime, anywhere. They can search every compartment in your car. They can search everything. Now, the 1977 case of Chadwick says that they can't search locked containers. I digress, forgive me. So what happens? After Terry versus Ohio in 1968, now the jurisprudence is set that the cops can use reasonable articulable suspicion. So what happens from there? The floodgates are now wide open. Now it's wide open. The 1972 case of Williams versus Adams, just 4 years after Terry versus Ohio, says that the cops have reasonable articulable suspicion if someone calls you up and says that they're suspicious of you. That's what happens in 1972 in Williams versus Adams. They expand Terry versus Ohio to go to the point where if someone calls on you, if someone calls the police about you, that's reasonable articulable suspicion. They can even grab you out of your car. What happens to the prison industry? Take a look at that. Take a look at that. Woo! The 1996 case of Wren versus United States says that they can use a pretextual stop. They can take a look at your car and decide that they're suspicious of your car. And once they're suspicious of your car, then they can pull your car over. Now they can search your car because they have reasonable articulable suspicion. You did commit a traffic offense. You didn't use your blinker, or you know what? Your taillights didn't work. Take a look at the prison industry. If you look at Wren right here, take a look, 1997, we're at over 1 million, 2 million, 1.3 people in prison. Got a premiere coming out in 6 minutes. I got a premiere coming out in 6 minutes. If moderators put the link for the premiere, you guys got to see what's coming out in Mansfield, Ohio. You got to get on the phone. You got to call those people up. You got to call those dirty pigs up. You got to call them. I mean, it's the Mansfield, Ohio premiere that I got coming out. What you're going to see on that is so fucking unbelievable that I did this live stream so that you guys would watch it. So you guys would watch what happened in Mansfield, Ohio. You're not going to believe it. If you can't tell, I'm a little fired up. And the reason why that happened in Mansfield, Ohio, right here, you see the prison industry? Take a look at it. Take a look at that. We have millions of people in prison, and you can target it back to Terry versus Ohio. We don't stop under any circuit. We don't stop. Why is that? Because until Terry is gone, we're screwed. This prison industry will just grow and grow and grow. And as long as they have the term law enforcement, law enforcers, they're not law enforcers. It's not what our founding fathers wanted at all whatsoever. 5 minutes till the premiere. Wait till you guys see what happened in Mansfield, Ohio. Wait, have you got anybody seen it? Let me read the comments for a second. Has anybody seen what happened in Mansfield, Ohio? Has anybody seen it? Has anybody seen it? Oh. It was a Terry stop. It was a Terry stop in Mansfield, Ohio. Did you know that? It was a Terry stop. They Terry stopped him on his front porch. Did you know that? Does anybody know what happened? I'm just wondering. Thanks for putting the link. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Premiere starts in 4 minutes. I'm a little fired up right now because this right here, you can pinpoint it. Don't be mistaken. When you see a cop abuse somebody, ask yourself, was there a warrant for their arrest? If there was no warrant for their arrest, it was a Terry stop. 90% of the videos that you see, whether that be on the Civil Rights Lawyer or ASD Docs or Don Andre Investigations, 90% or more, what's the Real News Network? Real News Network shows all these amazing videos. I would say that on Real News Network, 95% of the videos they show are Terry stops. It's all about Terry versus Ohio. You understand that? 3 minutes till the premiere comes out. 3 minutes till the premiere comes out. Let me open my other phone. You guys got to see what happened in Mansfield, Ohio. I called over there 2 or 3 times. On the second one, I recorded it and I put it up online. You got to see what they did. You got to see what they did in Mansfield, Ohio. It's so unbelievable. So this is coming out. We're super close. This is coming out. We are now this close to launching this board game and launching an entire syllabus where we're going to start at Article 1, Section 1, Clause 1. I'm going to teach you every single article of the Constitution. I'm going to teach you every single one of the 27 amendments in great detail so that people understand that we were supposed to be free. We weren't supposed to live in a police state, prison state, death state. We weren't supposed to have millions of people in prison. Take a look. Take a look. Do you know why it's that way? Because of Terry versus Ohio. Well, there's a few things. I only got 2 minutes till Wapner. 2 minutes till Wapner. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Forgive me, I don't know how to work this damn thing yet. I just got it. Just trying to figure out how this thing works here real quick. 2 minutes till Wapner. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you for the super chats. I am not looking. I can't believe what they did in Mansfield, Ohio. I mean, I guess I can. I guess I can believe what they did in Mansfield, Ohio. I guess I can. But it's just, and why did it happen? I want you guys to understand something here. What, do you do some jiu-jitsu and stuff? It's because of Terry versus Ohio. 30 years. Here it is, right here. This is the premiere coming out in 60 seconds right here. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Right here, this premiere comes out. You got to see what they did in Mansfield, Ohio. You got to see. And I call up and you can just see I'm so unbelievably frustrated. All right, so I'll give a real quick recap as fast as I possibly can. So maybe you guys can clip it, whatever, it doesn't matter. But let me just show you super duper fast exactly what has happened in our country. Obviously 1925, Carroll versus United States, during the height of Prohibition is created for warrantless searches of your car. That idea is then extended into the 1981 case of Beltran, but between that case is Terry versus Ohio. Terry versus Ohio dramatically lowers the standard of probable cause to reasonable articulable suspicion, creates this magical space where officer safety is more important than your rights. The cops can run up and grab you, and then they can detain you. Those 4 things happen. So then after that, they create a plethora of other laws, And I don't mean, it's not laws, it's policies created by an unelected Supreme Court. None worse than the 1972 case of Adams versus Williams. And then it keeps going down the line after that. Then you get the 1977 case of Pennsylvania versus Mims. You got to get out of the car in the name of officer safety. Where does that come from? Terry versus Ohio. Then the 1976 case of South Dakota versus Opperman says that they can inventory your car when they arrest you, search your car completely and take all your stuff and inventory it for you. They're trying to help you. Then it keeps going down the line. The 1996 case of Wren versus United States says that the cops can do a pretextual stop based on their reasonable articulable suspicion as long as they can cite a traffic infraction, meaning that they'll make it up and say your blinkers didn't work. Then it keeps going down to 2013 case of Florida versus Harris that says if a dog barks, that's probable cause to arrest you. No warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, Florida versus Harris creates that. All right, premiere starting right now. Let me see. We're 1 minute away from Wapner. 1 minute and 17 seconds. You can't imagine what happened in Mansfield, Ohio. You can't imagine. I mean, I guess you can imagine. I don't know how this thing works. Nice to see everybody. 1 minute till Wapner. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. If you guys would please meet me over here. Let me drop this link in the chat. And one of you moderators drop the link in the chat. I'll figure out how this damn swivel thing here works sooner or later. You guys got to see what happened in Mansfield, Ohio. And then do me a favor, share this video with everybody. It's the ring camera of what they did to that guy in Mansfield, Ohio. He was up on his porch, minding his own business, and what they do to him is unbelievable. They drag him off his porch in torture cuffs. It's so unbelievable. I see Alpha Wolf over there. I see Letzo TVO over there. Good to see you, Kevin Gordon, Jeff Vacone. What's going on? Mikey, good to see you, my friend. 17 seconds till Wapner. 17 seconds till Wapner. Please, everybody meet me here right now. I got to get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Just wait, this syllabus is coming. You're going to learn so much. It's going to be unbelievable. I got to go. Love you guys. See you on the next one. Later, Gators.